After I fixed that headlight, a deer jumped in front of the road. Now, on the same side the deer hit, it made that tail light. The tail light comes through a little hole, and it bounced up. It broke that light and sent that out. And I didn't even know it was out. Just so it pulled over for that. Honest to God, that's borderline harassment at this point. If I got a headlight out, that's my probable cause to search. You know, they ask me, and I give them permission to search. And they disrespect, they tear up, they make a mess. And I'm just not giving them permission no more. Because it's been 3 times they ain't found nothing. Neither one of us do anything anymore. And I don't even smoke weed no more. Give it all away on. And they ain't got no probable cause. If they want to search me next time or dog or nothing, Glenn Giles, the sheriff, he can search. I ain't giving none of these other people permission to search. Because I know they'll plant evidence if they get a chance to do it. You know, I know they'll text underage girls. I know they'll sleep with prostitutes. I know they'll pimp out prostitutes. I know they'll do drugs. I know they'll buy drugs. I know they'll sell drugs. I know they'll look the other way about any kind of thing that requires any risk to their own safety. Or anything that would really, they just go after anything that's easy. So they found that. You know, it's been over half a year of, you know, I'm just hesitant. I don't really want to tell her business. I'm very proud of her. She's been sober for half a year now, over half a year. And what they found wasn't hardly nothing when they did find it, when she was weaning herself off of it, almost nothing. Didn't really know it was in the purse, didn't even know it was really there. And here it is half a year later, and they want to search, ask me permission to search every time they see me. And then, you know, all the times that I have been put in cuffs in my life on 3 separate occasions where I was not charged with a crime and I was let loose because I didn't do anything. But for the officer's safety or just whatever, they put you in cuffs. So 3 times in my life, a cowardly cop has put me in cuffs to detain me, not charge me with a crime, realize I'm innocent, and let me go. Well, in those 3 times that I was innocent, my freedom was taken away from me. And I'm put in cuffs as if I did something wrong. And I'm treated as if I'm just like an animal on a leash. And then after it, they're like, they get mad. They're like, you don't respect me enough. You need to be happy about the whole thing. You need to be happy about the unwarranted searches. You need to be happy about your privacy being invaded. You need to be happy about us absolutely making a mess and trashing your vehicle over and over and over again. You need to be happy about it. You need to love us. You need to have a little slave mind and think we're your protectors. And I never needed them for nothing, and when I've ever needed them, they ain't been there. I will say Glenn was there for Brittany. When Michael Rainey attempted to rape her because he thought she wouldn't go to the cops because she had her other legal issues going on at the time. But that's the only time ever. I mean, that other motherfucker, I think it's the same fucking guy. He might, if he used to be a lot fatter about 5 or 6 years ago. The neighbors keep stealing my dog's puppies. I have to keep going over there and getting them. I've done went over to the neighbors to get my puppies like 3 or 4 times. This is years ago. And so finally I called the Wheeler County Sheriff's Department. I say, my neighbor keeps stealing these puppies. They're like, we'll send someone out there. Never do. We'll call you back. Never do. We'll send someone out there. They never do. I call them 3 times. They never send no one out. Well, the neighbors steal the puppies again. The neighbors steal the puppies. My dogs, the grown-ups, they go over to the neighbor's house because that's where their puppies are. And you know what happens? I got a male and a female dog. They were little dogs about this big, right? They go over there because the neighbors have kidnapped their puppies. One of them's a registered, well, he's dead now. He's an old man. He's a registered sex offender. He raped his own daughter, made pornography about it. He raped his daughter, his stepdaughter, and their blind friend that when he got out of prison 20 years later, she married him. Well, her and him lived in that house. She was obsessive about hoarding animals. Every animal that got threw out at the dump, she kept, and she wanted to steal my puppies. Well, so keep in mind, I done called the Wheeler County Sheriff's Department 3 different times. They've lied to me and said they're going to send somebody out there and didn't, right? The parents of the puppies are over there at the neighbor's house because the puppies are there. And that man's dog tried to breed Little Tay, tried to breed my female dog. My male dog got in a fight with that dog because he was trying to breed her. And the only reason they in the neighbor's yard is the neighbor stole the puppies. That the sheriff's department is too goddamn sorry to do anything that helps the people, right? So they shoot my dog. And the fucking Wheeler County Sheriff's Department has a goddamn audacity to come to me and tell me my dog was in their yard being a troublemaker. When I done called them 3 times, said the neighbor keeps stealing the puppies, have to keep on going over there getting the puppies. So this is something that the first time, I never called the cops in my life. First time I ever called the cops in my life, trying not to get in a fight with a neighbor because I already hate him because he's a child molester. I tried to do things the right way. I tried to get them to come out there, talk to the neighbors, get them to stop stealing my puppies. They don't do shit. They lie. They say they're going to come. They never come. And when they come to shoot my dog. What about the little boy? What about the boy, the little white boy at Wheeler County School got raped? The police didn't protect him, did they? What about the guy that got tased? What about all this? What about anything? Anytime a real fight happens, anytime there's ever a real risk, if there is a real risk to a cop's life, they'll let 100 kids get shot up in a school before a single cowardly cop's going to go in there and risk his life. And the Supreme Court's already ruled that they're not obligated to serve and protect us. They're only there to raise money for the state. They're only there for their own ego. They say that there's bad cops that make a name for the good ones. The institution in itself is a corrupting institution that corrupts people that work with it. Good cops are few and far in between. And then there's ones that you don't know how corrupt they are. You don't know how filthy and nasty they are. And then there's some that's so bad you know they're bad, and you think that minority is the only bad ones. Most of them are corrupt. Most of them are criminal. Most of them are terrible human beings. And then there's 1 or 2 good ones. We've got probably 2 good cops in Wheeler County, and that's it. Every last one of them's corrupt, a piece of shit, and some of them are horrible excuses for a human being. Terrible people. Would not let them around my kids. And you don't need to. You don't need to let a cop babysit your child. Because shit, they already messaging minors. They're already trying to fuck kids. We already had to run one out of county for trying to fuck children. So I'm off work earlier today than I normally ever get off. I'm gonna see what I can do. about getting me a headlight. Thing is, by the time I buy the parts to fix the headlight and the tail light, I ain't gonna have money to pay the ticket. It's because I gotta keep getting taxed to pay these sorry ass fucking cops that won't do anything. Not to help nobody. They won't be there. They'll be there to file a report after something's done. They'll be there to give you traffic tickets and harass you on your way to work. They'll be there. They'll be there when they want to get a cut of the prostitutes' money. They'll be there when they want to steal some money from the city. They'll be there when they want to steal some drugs. You know, a lot of these cops, they steal drugs from people and let them go and then do the drugs and sell the drugs. Some of them sell drugs and bust the competition. But you wonder why sometimes these crack houses and stuff stay open for so many years and everybody knows that they're selling drugs, why they don't get busted. Because they're giving some of the money to the cops, people. Don't be that slow. The cops are taking a cut of all that. They farm it. They ain't gonna never really clean up anything because they're never really gonna clean up their own house. And the higher up you go, like if you want to try to hold them accountable and get a higher office to deal with them, the higher offices are more corrupt than they are. So let's say you got a corrupt local police department. Who you gonna call? The GBI? They're more corrupt than they are. The FBI? They're more corrupt than they are. Your congressman or senator? They're even more corrupt. Your judge? Almost all your judges are fucking worshiping the devil. Almost all your judges are Mason sons of shits. Ain't worth a fuck. What do you do? To really right yourself of these wrongs would require way more pain and sacrifice than anybody really wants to endure. So we just put up with it. We just put up with it the best we can. Put up with the taxes the best we can. We just try to scrape by. And we just try to not to be evil like they are. We try to just be better than they are. Don't stoop to their level. Don't stoop to the level of a cop or a senator or a judge. Those things, that used to be like, you would think of that as some honorable office, that the more honorable people would have those offices. Now, if you want to raise good children, tell your children, don't be like them cops. Don't be like them judges. Don't be like them senators. Don't be corrupt. Don't be perverted. Don't be exploitive. Don't be tyrannical. Don't be like them. Be decent human beings. Contribute to society. Build something. And I might not, my house might be kind of run down. My truck might be kind of run down. People can say whatever they want to say about my past habits or whatever else. But at least I ain't never been a pimp. The cops in McRae can't say that. At least I ain't never went and bought a prostitute. Old Merritt can't say that. At least I ain't trying to plant drugs on people. Brian Vickers can't say that. At least I ain't laughing at people when they get their kids taken away or getting women to show me their nakedness to let them off of tickets. Dustin Oliver can't say that. I'd call more of them out if I knew their names. Terrible sons of bitches, they really are. They get mad when you tell the truth about them. If you got a man totally compliant, he's saying, yes, officer, yes, officer. Like now, I may say some angry words to him. I may say, listen, this one here, he did this, listen to this. I may say that now, but I was 100% respectful and polite in the beginning. I was always the yes, officer, because I know they love that. They love that. That's what they in it for, the fake respect. You say, yes, officer, instead of yes, sir. Oh, that dick gets so hard. They love that. You say, yes, officer, no, officer. I was polite with him. I wasn't resistant. He pushed me in cuffs. It ain't enough for him to just put me in cuffs. He got cross-cuffed me and about pulled my right shoulder out of socket. He's got to let my back of my head hit the fucking car and do all this shit. Just because I'm detained, just to turn around and take the cuffs off me and tell me I'm free to go. They didn't find nothing. They accusing me of lying, saying I had something I didn't have and never found it, was never there. So it's like, keep that in mind. I was respectful, compliant, innocent, never found what, and then I get a migraine for 2 days with the back of my head busted up against the top of that police car. I get my shoulder pulled out my socket. And then I get harassed from then on out. So, and I already knew about the other stuff. I don't live the same kind of way I used to. I don't believe all the same ways I used to. But when I was a young man in my 20s, like when I was in high school, I went to Bible college to be a preacher at the same time I was going to high school. At the same time I was working full-time at Kroger, I went full-time at tech school to learn how to be an electrician. So in my youth, in my 20s, I was just telling people, I was basically being an evangelist. And I would go talk to the people, everybody, whether rich or poor, cool or uncool, popular, not popular. And I talked to the people of McRae, anybody that would listen about Jesus Christ. And there's a prostitute named Crystal. And she was stressing one day because she was having to get up enough money because the cops told her that if she didn't give them money, they're going to put her in jail for prostitution. So I think she moved to Florida now. But when I was a missionary or an evangelist, that's been 10 years or more ago, these prostitutes in McRae would tell me that the cops get their cut of that prostitution or they lock them up. And there's always been corruption in Telfair County and Wheeler County, in these small towns. And then, later on in my life, sort of run into it at a different angle. Because I have friends that did drugs and stuff like that. And there's 2 cops in McRae, both black men. And they would go, they didn't even bust the prostitutes, they slept with them. They paid them money to sleep with them. Well, one of them cops that bought prostitutes, he bought prostitutes when they were still underage. Because he knew they was from a poor family. And now he's a truancy officer at the school. Keep fucking playing around with me. Keep harassing me, Wheeler County Sheriff's Department. Keep on. I have the FBI putting y'all in handcuffs and carrying y'all off. Keep on fucking with me. Y'all fucking underestimate the people. You don't treat us with dignity. You demand respect, but won't respect nobody. You want people to honor you, but you treat people with no dignity. You're crooked. We know you're crooked. All the same things you ticketed people for, you do yourself. Anytime you see a red light, you just put on the little blue lights and drive through it. You ain't going to no call and then turn it right back off shamelessly. You want to pull somebody over while you're going down the road on your laptop or with your Big Mac or whatever without a seatbelt on. I know you're a first responder. I know you ain't got to wear a seatbelt, but I'm just saying it's the hypocrisy is why people don't like y'all. If cops didn't beat the hell out of people for no reason, if cops didn't take cuts of prostitution, if cops didn't molest people, if guards didn't rape inmates, y'all'd be respected more. But you don't deserve the respect you think you deserve. You don't deserve that respect because you ain't going and working a real job. You're not doing anything to contribute. You're not a leader. In no kind of way are you a leader. In no kind of way are you a role model. You're not a role model for health. No one should use a cop as a role model for health because morbid obesity is not healthy. No one should follow a cop about ethics or morality because they corrupt sons of bitches. No one should look to a cop about empathy. I'm telling you, there's probably only 2 cops in the whole county with a heart. And that's probably the Sheriff Giles and Jamie. and probably ain't a single other one worth a fuck. I don't know them all, but even the ones that are kind of good and people like, I know shit about them too. I know shit about them. I know about one of them got mad because this woman wasn't fucking. So he made it his mission to lock up everybody in her family that he could lock up. He's talking about suck my dick right in front of her daughter. Telling this woman to suck his dick right in front of her little daughter. He's mad that he ain't getting no pussy, so he goes and busts her nephews and stuff. And his mama sells drugs. And my mama wanted to shield from him and be like, no, she don't. No, she don't. I used to have friends in that part of Alamo. I used to look out the window and watch the cop's mama sell drugs. Shit, I have even bought drugs from his daddy. So it's just, and there used to be a deputy sheriff over in Glenwood used to sell crack. I knew a woman that went and bought crack from him and from his son. And you know, that cop up here, that his parents sell drugs and mama sells pills and his daddy sells drugs. Is he gonna bust his parents? Hell no, but he's gonna bust their competition. You can bet he's gonna bust their competition. And a lot of times his eyes are big as fuck himself. There's 3 different cops in Wheeler County. You catch them at the right time, their pupils are that fucking big. Which, I mean, there's precedent for that. Maurice Johnson, the sheriff, he was stealing bells from Brown and Pine Straw and stashing dope in them. I know a man who used to sell drugs to a cop. He go put the drugs on the end of the street. The cop would give him the money and then go pick them up. They never hand-to-hand met or exchanged. The thing is, all the fucking dirt I got, I've kept for leverage sake. I didn't just go busting them out and shit. But I'm ready to really clean up the county. You got people that have gotten their lives together, ain't been in no trouble. She ain't been in no trouble in over half a year, been completely sober, able to pass a drug test anytime you ask her. And they just want to search and search and search and search and search every time they fucking see me. Keep on. One day, one of my friends is going to be sheriff. And y'all fired. The 2 cops I named, and also Mr. David's nephew. I think he's got, I don't know if he's city or sheriff. He seems like a decent dude. But every one of y'all else, y'all going to lose y'all's job. Y'all probably going to be in prison. You probably should retire. Y'all probably going to prison. And you know they like cops in prison. Keep fucking with me. I'm a man that doesn't take no government assistance, that works for everything I got. I work hard working conditions. Like these bitches can't handle. These bitches can't even deal with a little bit of pain and put the fucking spoon and fork down. They damn sure can't handle being covered in insulation or all this other shit. Working in the heat like this. They definitely ain't gonna get cut like I get cut, just sew myself up and keep working. I miss the old ones. They're all dead and retired. We used to have a lot of decent men that worked in the sheriff's department. Now we got 2, maybe 3. All the rest of them are pieces of shit. But they used to be good, decent men. You know, if somebody would have saw the way the sheriff's department used to be when I was a boy and they said, I want to go be a cop when I grow up, that would have been an honorable thing. But if you want to be like these sons of a bitches, you're just a bad person. God forbid any of my children be anything like Dustin Oliver or Brian Vickers. God forbid anybody ever descend from me and be so dishonorable and such a disgusting, filthy human as these people. Or the former sheriff. Or the sheriff before the former sheriff. Thank God. Yeah, they can say a lot of things about me, but they can't say I'm guilty of what those men are guilty of. They really can't say that much about me. The most they can say is, they told him he couldn't smoke weed, and he did it anyway for a while till he quit. That's the most they can really say against me. I ain't stole from nobody, and I ain't lied and slandered on nobody either. I'm telling the truth about who these people are. My whole life I've caught hell for telling the truth. My whole life. Whether it be from my parents, the school, friends, family, the police, politicians, social media. The people that hate me, the people that make up lies about me and slander me, or the people that say I'm an asshole, or the people that talk negatively about me, they lie because I tell the truth. And the truth would make them look bad. So they try to make me look bad. They try to tell lies about me to get people to not believe the truth I speak. But I'm telling the truth. That old Israel and Palestine, that's not the Israel of God. That's a counterfeit. That's a hoax. That's a Rothschild hoax. That's some Edomites converting some Khazarians. That's what that is. So I catch hell about the truth about that. The dollar ain't backed on gold. It's based on this fraudulent pyramid scam. This fractional reserve. The Federal Reserve is fraudulent. That's the truth. Communism never works. That's the truth. The truancy officer at the school has slept with minors and paid them money to do it. That's the truth. Glenn Giles locked up Wade Purvis's dad for aggravating stalking when he ain't never stalked nobody off the testimony of a woman. Had him locked up till the guy got stressed out, got cancer, and died. It turned out he was innocent. Wade took him to court, won the case, sued the city. But look at how many years he just sat there, out back and forth from a jail to a mental institution being completely innocent. And then he enjoyed a small little bit of freedom before he died, body riddled full of cancer. I love that man. I knew Wade Sr. and I knew Wade Purvis. That's why it's really hard to support Glenn Giles. Glenn Giles watches this or hears about this. I want you to know it was hard supporting you. I thought you had a good heart. I still do. I just think you was bad mistaken about Wade's dad. Bad mistaken. That's one of the worst things you ever did in your life, whether you know it or not. Wrong call. Everybody makes mistakes, though. But you know how hard it is when I'm really good friends with Wade Purvis for me to support the man for sheriff that killed his daddy? Your incompetence killed his daddy. You're guilty of that. He wouldn't be all stressed out and have cancer like that and die that soon had you not put him through all that stress. You killed that man. I was friends with him when I was a little boy. I used to talk to him by the dumpster. You killed that man. And you or nobody on the police force is as good as a man as that man that got killed, or as good of a man as Wade Purvis. All right? But because all these people want to take advantage of Brittany and go so far as one of them try to sexually assault, try to make a move to rape her, and let him go in without pressing no charge about that and letting that police report be filed, I always respect him for that. That's why I supported him for sheriff. But it's wrong as hell what happened to Wade Sr. Man's blood's on your hands. I love you too, baby.
I was just making sure you knew I didn't get off right now.
Yeah, I just stopped by because I'm going to see about